Alright, I told you we were doing something a little special. Thought I'd, switch it up a little bit. Now, the last two mission packs, we've been playing in, with the remaster. Now, we're gonna do something just a tad different. Wait a minute. I forgot. This didn't come with a fucking crosshair? Wow. That's mad different. Well, we are doing this as a tribute to the classics, so let's get into it. As always, we are selecting the normal mode. Okay, this is way too damn huge. These fonts are way too small. Okay, that's a little more, try this one. Okay, that's a lot more tolerable. I could definitely do this a lot better. Alright. We apparently have 2 episodes this time. Assuming we're not missing anything. This is the first. This is the first episode, Hell's Fortress. Well, we're going to Hell's Fortress then. Alrighty then, let's do this. Now, as you can see in the original, there was something of an issue whereby enemies, like these guys here, would not move across the screen very smoothly. And before anybody asks, no, this is not going to be the actual way we play the episode. This is just a bonus, a little something letting the kids know where we've come from. Unless the gameplay turns out good, and then who knows? But this was originally done in a software render. Which incurred some limitations on what they could do. Which is why all the enemies move so choppily. Though, thankfully, these grenades still move smoothly, so you can get out of their damn way. Also, being a classic game, you only had full screen resolutions to choose from. Okay, something opened. Hey, buddy. I'm guessing it's this door here. Oh, whoa! There we go. can tell the gate's locked. I'm trying to figure out how to unlock it. Now, as you can see, the enemies have made up for there not being as many levels by simply making the game being bigger pains in the asses. I will gladly take that. And we now have the silver key. All that's left is to figure out what door it goes through. Oh. Everybody's dead there. Okay, we go down here. There will be no skewering me today. Maybe tomorrow. You'll also notice that, at least by default, the size of the HUD is entirely based on your resolution. What the? Motherfucker. Dead. And we go here. Oh. Oh. That moved a lot faster than I expected it to. That is, that's definitely something. Can I call it back? Or am I just fucked? Oh no, it comes back on its own. Alright. See how this goes. Ah, good. Nope. Shit. Like I said, game gets a lot tougher to compensate for the shorter length. But yeah, this is what gaming looked like in the time before hardware acceleration. Gaze upon its glory. You'll notice, specific to this expansion, what do you mean you couldn't fucking open? I didn't make a quick save? Shit. Anyway, I think I've made my point about the about how gaming was like in the old days. A lot of this was almost entirely processor dependent. Which suited Intel fine, obviously. This was well into the Wintel era. So it was all about having the fastest processor. Little did they know what those crazy boys at NVIDIA and 3DFX were cooking up. You know, that was when you started seeing Glide and, most important for our story, OpenGL. And to introduce people to the benefits of good old OpenGL, as well as to test the OpenGL renderer for the then upcoming Quake 2, it released a small executable, well, set of executables, I suppose, called GL Quake. This effectively sold people on the idea of distinct graphics cards, or, you know, specifically for 3D rendering. And basically put NVIDIA on the map. I seem to be missing something. Don't think I need to explain why this was so important. Aside from the fact that it helped make games look even better than what we were seeing here. It incentivized people to hold on to CPUs longer, as the graphics cards could compensate for any deficiency in the CPU. GL Quake, for the most part, looks like the remaster if you turn off the enhanced models. I might do that when we actually go into the next episode. I'm gonna be honest with you, the resolution is a bit off-putting nowadays. I'm sure more than a few people watching this will understand that. Okay, something spawned in. Now we okay, so it's 4. Gotcha. Games are so damn fast. It's oh, kind of hard to keep tabs of where the fucking weapons are on the number row. And then we're gonna make it that damn easy. Gotta see if there's a fucking HUD size option. I didn't see that when I was prepping this bad boy here. Take a look. Oh. That's good. Okay. That's what the screen size does. That was another thing you had back in the day. You would be able to adjust your screen size so that if you were running on a weaker system, you could play the game like this. Nowadays it's quite quaint, even annoying. But back then, this was the only way some people could play a game like this. You saw similar things with Doom in its original format. Let me put this back to a usable screen size. Nope, wrong button. What the fuck? No! I want a quick save. Motherfuckers. They don't seem to have a quick save option. I'd like to know who thought that was a good idea. Now you'll notice that the weapon in this expansion uses different types of ammo. This was an addition, specifically for Dissolution of Eternity, to give you a few more options, as it were. Which, of course, I appreciate. Let me see if it's... Ah! So the quick save is locked to F6. I'm not sure why F6 is so heavily used in some of these games instead of the easier to find by touch F5. I guess one of the mysteries of older game design. I'm just thankful that games nowadays use F5 by default, or at least let you switch. Because being that F5 is at the start of that F cluster, you don't have to keep looking at the fucking keyboard to hit it. At least if you're using a full size. You know, use a smaller keyboard and all bets are off, I suppose. Personally, I'd never go smaller than an 1800. Being a left mouser, I need both the numpad and the what the fuck? There we go. Oh yeah, I gotta press the button. That was another thing. Mouse wheel wasn't supported in the original Quake. I'm guessing owing to the fact that most mice at the time didn't have a wheel. That seems like one of those things that got added in later on as time progressed and you started to need scrolling more. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the things you started seeing more with, like, 198 or 1 XP. Okay. Of course the gate's locked. You can't have this being too easy. But thankfully, even back then, you still had support for more than for at least 3 mouse buttons. I'm not sure if they supported 4 and 5 mouse buttons yet. Thank you. Now when we get to Quake 2, you're going to see how much of a difference having an OpenGL renderer and more of a focus on mouse look started to have on first-person shooters. Now you might be wondering what this is. See, normally you would have a lot of these games at the time would have your movement keys be move up, down, left, right. Would be move up and down and then look left and right. And then you would have a sidestep button which allowed you to switch looking for sidestep. The game is actually kind of novel in that you can also set keys to step left, step right instead. What the fuck even happened? Like I was... No. Just... Where the fuck was I? Oh yeah. Basically, traditionally, what you would do... Let me kill these idiots. Because there's no fucking way I'm doing this in real time. So you would sit here, and you would also have a look button. And when you hold the look button, you could look up and down by using the arrow keys. Up and down. So instead of moving, you would point your head up and down. Thankfully, this is one of the first games that allowed you to use... Damn it. I'm never going to get used to that. This was one of the first games that let you use mouse look right out the box. It wasn't a default. You actually had to press a button to open them out. You had to hold a button so that you could use a mouse, or you could use the console command plus M. What the fuck? M look, and that would give you mouse capability without having to hold a button. Alright, there we go. So yeah, that's, damn it. That's how, gaming was done back in the day, you know? Nowhere near as convenient and easy as it is now. At the risk, whoa. So that's what the hell killed me. Kill these idiots. So that was our little history lesson. Of course, if you want to go into how crazy the hardware end was back in the day, I recommend you go to a channel called The 8-Bit Guy. You can also go to LGR, you know, Lazy Game Reviews. That guy is also a font of knowledge. For how you have to screw around with IRQ addresses and, you know, dip switches and stuff like that. You know, back before plug and play, right? Yeah. Things were weird back in the day. Anyway, I think that's enough of a history lesson. So, next time, we will start the second expansion in earnest. I hope you all enjoyed our little history lesson. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments, of course. And as always, God bless you.